Hello, everyone. It's Anna, Lena, and Jose from the Power Path, and we are super excited to be starting this new monthly update. So we've been doing Facebook Live for a while, and none of us like it. So we decided to change the way we're doing it so that we can still share with you all of the really wonderful new events and new opportunities that we have every month, and give you a sneak peek of the coming energies and the forecast. So this is our first Power Path update and sneak peek for the month of June. So this month we have one new live webinar coming up on the 14th of June, which is the Medicine Wheel as a Map. And it's a 1-hour live webinar course. And it's all about understanding how to work with the medicine wheel, how to read it as a map, all the different parts. If you've worked with us in the past, you know that a lot of our shamanic teachings and a lot of our programs are all based around the medicine wheel. So we really wanted to give you a good foundational course, a good opportunity to really understand where a lot of the teachings come from and where the base is of a lot of the things that we teach. So that's coming up on the 14th. It's at 12 noon. You don't need to be actually on the webinar live to be able to participate. The recording will be up for a week afterwards, but definitely go check that out. So we've also been adding to our online course library regularly. And the most recent one that we added was the Health and Vitality, the Power Path to Health and Vitality online course, which is extremely comprehensive and really supportive of understanding the physical body and how it works and getting more healthy and more in alignment. And so you can check that out. We also have a new online course that's just come up called Understanding the Masculine and Feminine. This was one of our most popular webinars, so we're super excited to be offering it as an online course.
Yeah, and I'd like to talk a little bit about that course, but I also wanted just to mention about health and vitality, that this has been a very challenging time for a lot of people, because as we move into changes energetically on the planet, and that's of course a really huge topic to go into, but as we're changing the energy on the planet, the body has a really hard time adjusting. So this course will give you some really important and valuable tools for you to have some help in that area, and to understand how you can support your body, not just the physical body, but the emotional body and the energy body as well. So on to the masculine and feminine. As you all know, those two energies are really up right now for people. You know, the whole movement of the rise of the feminine and what that means, and also this aspect of the masculine where there's a tremendous resistance to that energy, and there's tremendous healing that needs to take place for both of those energies, masculine and feminine. So this is a very powerful course that Jose and I did, and it is now available online. And we are going to be offering a discount on that course for the month of June, because it's a really supportive and important course that will help you with the energies of June. So here's the sneak preview for what you're facing in June. The full moon chart for May really was a good setup for where we're going in June. And the themes that I came up with for June are discipline and follow through. Now, discipline and follow through are really masculine based energies. And of course, we're in the middle of summer, and there's a lot of solar energy. There are tremendous masculine supportive energies that we can use to discipline ourselves for follow through. But to understand how to make better friends with the masculine so that there's not as much resistance about it, and also to work with the feminine as a super container to be able to follow through and be disciplined in our tasks and manifesting what we want. That's a really important way to work with these two as well. So I'm going to turn this over to Jose so he can talk a little bit about what the course is about, and how it might fit in with where we really want to be successful in navigating this next month.
Well, in the course, we concentrate on the shamanic approach to masculine and feminine. And in the shamanic understanding of them, they're not totally related to gender, because all of us, males and females, have the masculine and feminine components within us. So the shamanic understanding is that these components, the masculine and the feminine, have to work together. They're absolutely equal in value and in importance, and it's important that they're balanced within each one of us and balanced when we're communicating with another person. And so we're going to go deep into that as part of the seminar, and we're going to look at the nature of the feminine being like the game board, like the tennis court or the field. Now that's a very, very important position. It's a support position. You can't really have a game unless you have the game board or the field where you can play the game on. The content, the players on the field, the action, the ball, all that's the masculine. And it gets a lot of the attention. People don't often focus on the field. Once the game starts, they're focusing on the action on the field. And so in that way, the feminine gets ignored a lot. Well, we're going to talk about the absolute necessity to have both. You can't have a game if you don't have a game board. So in a way, the field or the game board is absolutely fundamental. It comes first. You get the field, then you get the players on the field, and then you play the game.
And so the energies of June are going to actually address both the masculine and the feminine, because we also have this need to rekindle our comforts and our inspiration and what makes us all warm and fuzzy. And that is a very, very important component, because you can't just have this dry, discipline, sort of action-oriented energy, even though that's where it's pushing us. And we all want to be more productive. We all have this need to get up and, okay, let's finally just do it. So that's where the discipline comes in. But there's another component which, does have to do with the feminine and the container that we want to be able to relax into. So there's a lot of information, and I'm sure that all of you will read the forecast. And I also want to do a little plug here for the audio that goes along with the forecast, because we're going to be doing a lot of processes in this month's audio to be able to help to clear some of the obstacles to actually anchoring, especially into that masculine energy.
So the other thing that we wanted to draw your attention to is some of our in-person programs that we have coming up this summer. And they're in July, but we wanted to let you know about them now so that if you're interested in coming, you could sign up sooner than later and get your plane tickets. So they do fill up. So the first is something that we are really excited and inspired about, which is our first ever Shamanic Women's Leadership Conference. And we're doing it here in Santa Fe rather than up at our land at Eagle Bear, because Santa Fe, for those of you who have never been here, is fantastic during the summer. It's incredibly beautiful. There's all kinds of art and music and just all kinds of wonderful things happening, and it's a great place to visit. So we designed our leadership conference to be right after one of the big international events that happens in Santa Fe, which is the International Folk Art Market. So the Folk Art Market is over that weekend, the 14th and 15th, and our Shamanic Leadership Women's Conference is the 16th and 17th of July. So you can make an extended vacation out of it. You want to talk about some of the things we're covering?
Yeah, this is really exciting, because what we've done is we've basically taken all the feedback of what women have found to be very important and useful right now in these times, basically from our coaching program that we launched a couple of years ago. And so we're going to cover certain topics that are super important. Self-esteem, there's going to be a huge section on value, personal value and self-esteem, and a lot of healing around that, a lot of processes around that. And then we have another one on boundaries and protection, which is another really main area that women have found to be very, very useful and helpful. And this is from a shamanic point of view. And there's a section also on creativity and finding your voice, which is going to be very helpful for women to be able to tap into their sources of creativity. So it's going to be a very fun event, and we're expecting women from all over. So it's a chance also for you to physically be in with the community of women, of like-minded women. And of course there's fabulous restaurants and beautiful outdoor spaces and free music on the plaza. And if you're really interested to see what Santa Fe has to offer, you can always go to santafe.com, which is a website that will tell you what Santa Fe, some of the events that are happening around the town.
So the other thing that we wanted to bring your attention to is our annual Inner Shaman Retreat, which is held up at our land, Eagle Bear, which is in beautiful northern New Mexico. We own 1,000 acres, and there's actually 3,000 acres that we work with up there. And that is July 26th, begins on the 26th. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, in shamanism, there's a basic principle, and that is never accept appearances. So that's going to be the theme of this Inner Shaman workshop, is the whole question of how do you get behind the appearance of things, what the truth is, the difference between the truth and the lie, deconstructing reality to what is this thing that we call reality anyway, and how do we work behind the scenes of what shows up to our eyes and our physical senses, and how we can tune into the kind of information that we're receiving that doesn't exactly always correspond with what we're seeing or what we're hearing. So that's going to be the main theme.
And it's also a really fabulous way to spend a few days out in nature. We have outdoor classrooms. There's little vintage trailers you can rent. There is fabulous food that we cook ourselves for you. So it's really a nice way to get away and be off the grid. It's a great energetic detox, and you'll learn something. So we really encourage you to think about coming.
There'll be a lot of great exercises. Since we're out on the land, there's a lot of things that we can do. So some of it'll be lecture, and some of it'll be processes that we do out on the land. So it's really a fun retreat.
And the thing about our coming to one of our in-person retreats, whether it be the Women's Leadership Conference or the Inner Shaman Retreat, is one of the things that people say they get the most out of is the community. Being with a wonderful group of people. And the people that come to these are fantastic, and people make lasting friendships and really build their community. So we really encourage you to join us if you can, because it's something that is very worthwhile.
And stay tuned for that forecast. June is going to be a really interesting month, and we hope that you navigate it well.